Today we're talking about ultra-processed foods. What is their role in human disease? Do they cause disease? Is there a place in the life of the human who desires to accumulate health for ultra-processed food? Does ultra-processed food, just affect that jelly roll around our waist, and our blood sugar? Or does it actually impact our mental health, the environment? Is ultra-processed food addicting? We're going to go through those today. And I think by the end of this, you are going to be free to eat real whole food. So to get straight to the point here, if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to subscribe and share this with your friends. I can't think of a good reason to eat ultra-processed food. Manufacturing these processed foods literally destroys the environment and us humans. What are we gonna have left? There's no environment, no humans. The only people helped are those who own the company creating these ultra-processed foods via making them filthy, crazy rich. All the while, the uninformed human is duped by the perfectly manufactured packaging to think life sustenance can be gathered from these pseudo foods. Do not be the uninformed human. If you're watching this, you are informed. So people often say, but all food is processed. Once you cook it, smash it, mix it, it's now processed. I would agree. I would also argue, though, that the act of putting food into the state that is ready for human consumption, like cooking it, like stirring it, is not as much about processing as about preparation. Consider plain A2 yogurt that you could find at Costco right now. The milk to create that yogurt has been processed, prepared, but it has retained its whole food form. It has not been stripped of all its components and then put back together to resemble, oh, this looks like yogurt now. No. Whereas you take Yoplait yogurt, sorry Yoplait, but that's what you guys are doing. On the other hand, it is ultra processed as it has been poached of its life-giving properties, and then to make us feel and make it taste like real yogurt or something that's even better than real yogurt, they've added in acid modifiers, colors, flavoring agents, and thickeners. Like, oh, or take peanut butter. Sure, you got organic peanuts and sea salt, peanut butter. But what happens when we talk about Jif peanut butter? This does not have the qualities of peanut butter. The peanuts, they've been massacred by hydrogenated vegetable oils, mono and diglycerides, and a bunch of sugar additives. You have two perfectly nutritious foods like, say, yogurt and peanut butter that have now been poisoned by this ultra processing experience. Ultra processed foods really are the root of American illness. It is 100% under our control, self-created disease and human dysfunction. That is what ultra processed foods are. Talk about diabetes, obesity, colon cancer, prostate cancer, breast cancer, fatty livers, depression, anxiety, heart disease, strokes, dementia, Alzheimer's. These all have their roots in what goes into our mouth. You name the chronic disease, and the standard American ultra-processed food routine fuels those pathological pathways that create it. And it comes down from generation to generation to generation. With each passing generation of ultra-processed food eating, our genes, they're getting really, really messed up. And it's gonna be harder and harder to come back from that. There's no mechanism in which putting a dead, lifeless substance in the human body creates life in the human being. The same goes for the animals or for any living entity. If you put death into them, death is created. It literally is a miracle we industrialized humans can function at all. How much of this poison we've dumped year after year into our bodies, in many cases decades. I was one of those humans, literally destroying myself. Naively, I'll admit, I didn't realize it. And once I realized it, I started making drastic changes in my eating patterns. But we're destroying ourselves. And when it comes to mental illness, wow. Talk about an overlooked opportunity to enjoy life beyond measure and put the pharmaceutical industry, from $1 trillion entity into $1 million one. Depression, anxiety, ADHD, these are all fueled by a malnourished neural state. Not only that, but when a human eats ultra-processed foods, we're talking your fast food, your French fries, your Fruit Loops, your Costco muffins, your Costco hot dog, the reward pathways are completely overwhelmed. Now the brain thinks, in order to feel that euphoria again, I have to consume, this human has to consume more of that substance. And when it doesn't have that substance, neural agitation sets in, often manifesting as depression, low blood sugar, low motivation, acting out, ADHD, anxiety, panic feelings. Then the more we give into it, the more we get our fix, the greater that chasm becomes between where we currently are and neurochemical balance. If teachers really wanted to help the unfocused child in their classroom, the psychiatrist wanted to help them, psychologist wanted to help them, instead of sending a note home with the child suggesting to the parent the child be medicated, they ought to suggest the parents do a food diary so that it can be noted the child is actually being poisoned by the school lunch, by the corn syrup chocolate milk in the cafeteria, by the General Mills and its subsidiaries that they're consuming all day long. The problem with processed food is not just the flavor enhancers, the food coloring, the nitrates, the sodium benzoates, the foaming agents, the anti-caking agents, the bulking agents, and the thickeners, though, of course, those all promote massive dysfunction in the human body. It is also the fact that the natural matrix of vitamins and minerals and phytochemicals and proteins and fats have been removed, have been stripped, and then the ultra-processed food substance is now coming to our being lifeless. It requires the body to use precious resources to digest it now, to detoxify it, and extract what it can from this defunct food substance. It's literally stripping our body of life. Real food isn't just calories, carbohydrates, proteins, fats. It is a life-giving matrix, especially formed for most efficiently helping us humans regenerate ourselves and adapt to life. That is what real food, that is what food is. So why do we like it so much then? Great question. It is because, food chemists and psychologists are paid big money, and a lot of them are, to figure out how to get humans to eat as much ultra-processed food as possible so that the manufacturers of these foods can make as much money as possible. That is the bottom line. Real food naturally satiates, and it creates its own off switch for human consumption. Chips, crackers, Oreos, tater tots, and all the others in that pseudo food category are especially adapted to ensure the reward response is never fully satisfied. Just tickled, tickle, tickle, tickle. So for your mental health, for the beauty of your skin, for your bones, for your heart, for your liver, for your digestive tract, for just awesome living, for the sake of the generation, if you are about procreation, for your children, propagating children who have the opportunity to experience life at its fullest, I suggest putting a personal end to ultra-processed food consumption. Why not get the most out of life rather than living just continually just trying to survive, survival mode day after day? All right, I'm Dr. Matt. Let me know how you overcame processed food, how you went to the next level in your health because of that. And also, be on the lookout for what is coming May 1st. Sign-ups for the upgraded Shake the Sugar Challenge are just around the corner. It's gonna be insane. People are gonna get such amazing results, and you're gonna overcome ultra-processed food eating. Please look below as well, because there's a free download. Every time we make a video, I'll create a free download, an opportunity for you to accumulate more health. Talk to you guys and gals later.